From coast to coast, today we celebrate the anniversary of America's independence.
And there's no better place to enjoy our freedom than right here in one of this country's greatest cities.
And the heart of this great American city is the Giants, because certain things just belong together.
Like the Giants in San Francisco and baseball on the 4th of July.
It's the orange and black wrapped up in red, white, and blue. Next. We are coming to you from AT&T Park on this beautiful 4th of July as we get ready for Giants baseball game 1 of this 3-game series, Rockies and Giants. Hi again, everybody. I'm Dwayne Kuiper along with Mike Krukow, and we both would like to wish you a very happy 4th of July. Giants had a happy flight last night, and today they'll take on the Colorado Rockies with Jake Peavy on the mound.
Well, one of the keys to the Giants' success this year is how well they've done against the National League West. And 52 wins into this season, 26 of them have come against the National League West. They look to hope for that to continue against the Rockies, and they give the ball to Jake Peavy. Now, the key for Jake Peavy today is really one guy. Nolan Arenado has had some big-time ownership against him. He's 7 for 14 lifetime with 3 doubles and 2 home runs. For Peavy to beat the Rockies, he's going to have to handle Nolan Arenado.
What a shocker. Nolan Arenado, his name comes up all the time in these Rockies games. But today it is the 4th of July, so happy 4th to all. When we come back, we will have the lineups on the first pitch right after this.
CSN Bay Area is brought to you by Jack in the Box. It's back. The Portobello Mushroom Buttery Jack. Taste it before it's gone at Jack in the Box. And by Toyota, the full-line automaker with the longest-lasting vehicles in America. Toyota, let's go places.
Back here at AT&T Park on this 4th of July. Our game time weather is presented by the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. Great time to get to the beach. The admission-free boardwalk is now open daily. 64 degrees here at the Yard. We have light winds. Humidity at 70%. and it is a mostly sunny day here at the yard. Giants have taken the field. Let's take a look at the Rockies lineup that'll face Jake Peavy. It'll go like this. It'll be Blackmon, LeMahieu, and Nolan Arenado. And you can see what he's done in 10 games against the Giants. Gonzalez, Story, and then Ryan Rayburn. Reynolds will hit 7th, Hundley 8th, and Anderson will hit 9th.
On the hill today for the Giants will be the right-handed veteran Jake Peavy, 6'1", 180-pounder. Peavy, 35 years of age. He's in his 15th year at the big league level. This year in 16 starts, 4-7 with a 5.33 ERA. In 82 2/3, he struck out 63 with 26 walks. Peavy will be right around 88 to 90 with velocity. He will sink and cut the fastball from a low 3/4 release. He's got a curveball, slider, and a changeup. Lifetime against these Rockies, 7-8 with a 4.17 ERA. And let's take a look at the defense playing behind Jake Peavy today, starting in the outfield from left to right. It'll be Parker, Pagan, and Williamson with good arms on the corners. Crawford, Tejada on the left side of the infield. Green and Belt on the right side. Buster Posey, he'll be in the squad putting down the signs on the 4th of July. Happy 4th of July, everybody.
So we're waiting for some of our active and reserve military men and women. They took the field at different positions with their children. So our folks on the field trying to get them off the playing field as Charlie Blackmon gets ready to stand in. And the first pitch of the ball game is on its way to Blackmon, and it's a called strike. So we get started 1 minute late at 1:06. Blackmon hitting .309. And the next pitch is wide. 12 home runs, 42 runs batted in. Terrific numbers for a leadoff hitter. Giants do not overshift on Blackmon, but they do play him to pull. Swinging a tapper, foul. It's 1-2.
Good change up there for Peavy. Let's take a look at the usage for Jake Peavy, and 75% of the time you're going to see something hard coming at you, either the fastball or the cutter, and then it's whatever's working that day, the curveball, the splitter, slider. I mean, he'll even throw a circle change. I mean, he is just fearless with pitches. But of late, everything's been working.
And this breaking ball is pulled foul. Nice play. Ball jumped up around. And then the big guy there, the big guy. Telling everybody that I'm the big guy.
Well, he is the big guy.
1 ball and 2 strikes. Pulled foul again.
Our ball dude.
Toby Peckner.
Toby is feeling froggy today.
Much better than his father. 1 ball and 2 strikes. That goes through the leg of Richie Peckner, right? Big. I guarantee it.
Richie hadn't even got off the stool yet.
Blackmon steps out. He's 4 for 16 in his career against Peavy.
There's Richie Peckner. He's ready.
Got him, and that's how this game gets started.
Fastball right through him.
A lot of off-speed stuff, and this made this fastball look a lot faster.
It's not an easy thing to do, to throw a fastball by Charlie Blackmon. He's having a good first half. Have a look at Jake Peavy. See you later.
You see the 4th of July caps on the Giants. You'll see them when the Rockies come out. They have a lot of red in their caps. I think Brad Grems from our clubhouse staff told us that they have 4 different days during the year where they have different hats, caps. No balls and 1 strike. LeMahieu at 327.
Nice little cutter, and right now Peavy's putting on a clinic. He's carving him up. So he has definitely come out of the bullpen with a good command of all of his pitches, because he's thrown them all here in this first inning. And I mean everything. 8 pitches into it, he's showing the Rockies he's getting everything over.
A waste pitch, 1-2. 4 for 8. LeMahieu, lifetime against Peavy. And there's Nolan Arenado.
Pretty good strike zone to work with today. But before that, we're going to talk about our Exmo. It's brought to you by your local Toyota dealer, and the low 3/4 release, which gives him a lot of movement on the fastball that runs away from a righty, or away from a lefty into a righty.
Now give me the umpires.
Well, Jerry Davis, crew chief, is behind the plate today. Carlos Torres, Rob Drake, Sam Holbrook. They'll be the umpire for today. But Jerry Davis is, you'll see more high strikes with Davis than you will with other umpires, but that doesn't mean he won't call the low ones. And he's got a little width on both sides of the plate. It's a good zone to throw to.
Got him.
Again, the fastball, the payout pitch, runs it right up above the hands of LeMahieu. LeMahieu is a tall hitter, and he pitched tall guys up and in. And that's 2 strikeouts.
I don't think I've ever seen him strike out before.
I can't remember making it out before.
Here's Arenado. All right. That's a great day to make it your first game.
Gamer baby. Not a bad.
Arenado hitting at 288. Mike mentioned in our open, 7 for 14. Arenado against Peavy, 3 doubles and 2 home runs. Yeah, I'd go for that.
Want a snow cone?
Mom's going to be the hero in this group. I bet she already is. What do you go, Mom?
She's a gamer.
Peavy trying to hit the outside corner.
Coach, new good.
I think he liked being on camera.
He's putting on a show.
Overshift is on. That looked like a pretty good pitch. It's 3 balls and 1 strike.
Tries to bring a 2-seam fastball, wrap it around that outside corner. Did not miss by much, but remember the numbers: 7 for 14 lifetime, and he's had big time power numbers: 3 doubles and 2 home runs. Don't let him beat you.
Hit well into center field. Pagan tracking, and Pagan can't grab it. And into second base will be Arenado.
And that wasn't really a hanger either. Pretty good pitch. Oh boy, you know, it's 4 doubles now lifetime. Upon further review, that did have some hang time on it.
Well, the fact that it didn't go out is important.
Yeah. Just over the outstretched arm of Pagan. And I think he felt he had a chance to get this until the very end of it.
Yep, I agree. So here's Carlos Gonzalez. Gonzalez, 321 with 18 home runs, 51 runs batted in. So Peavy out of the stretch for the first time, and the pitch is wide. He's got 2 hits and 10 at bats lifetime against Jake Peavy. Popped him up. Tejada doing the pop-up dance here at AT&T Park. Giants are coming up. And the lineup that'll be facing the lefty Tyler Anderson will be Pagan, Green, and then Brandon Belt. He's had good numbers against the Rockies. Posey, Crawford, and Williamson. Jared Parker will hit 7th, Tejada 8th, and PB 9th.
On the hill today for the Colorado Rockies will be the left-hander Tyler Anderson. Tall guy, 6'4", 210 pounds. He has got about a half a year at the big league level. He's 26 years of age. He's making his 5th career start. And this is what he has done so far. He's throwing the ball pretty well. He just hadn't had a whole lot of success. 0-2, but with a 2.66 ERA. And look at the strikeout walk ratio. Almost a 5-to-1 in 23 2/3 innings. He's got a fastball that's low 90s. He will cut it. He will sink it. He's got a big curveball, slider, changeup, and he'll throw everything at you. He said the changeup, and we haven't seen it, but the changeup's supposed to be a really good one. Giants' first look at Tyler Anderson.
So here's Pagan. Pagan hitting .284. He's got 3 home runs, 28 driven in. On deck is Grant Green and then Brandon Belt. Giants are happy to be home after just a 5-game road trip, 2 in Oakland and then 3 in Phoenix. And they went 3-2 on that trip. There's a strike. Yesterday's win was an impressive win just because of all the injuries and a couple that Bruce Bochy found out after he'd already made the lineup. 3 balls and 1 strike.
Take a look at the motion from Anderson. He's almost mechanical. He gets a little pause. Starts with high hands, drops them down. Right here is a little pause in his motion. He gathers on his back leg and then he comes. It's a high 3/4 release, which gives him that good tilt on the curveball. First round pick out of University of Oregon. He's a Duck.
Hit up the middle. Story will make the play.
Let's take a look at the Rockies defensively, playing behind Anderson today. Starting in their outfield from left to right, it'll be Rayburn, Blackman, and Gonzalez. The best arm in right field with Gonzalez, and it's a good one. Story and Arenado will be on the left side of the infield. LeMahieu and Reynolds on the right side. Nick Hundley back off the disabled list. He'll be in the squad putting down the signs.
Here's Green. Green 6 for 18 since he's been called up. Goes after the first pitch and misses. It's 0-1. Got a couple of runs batted in with Belt to follow. The Rockies did not have any fun in Los Angeles. The Dodgers swept them. And they've lost 5 straight. This is hooked foul. Those games in LA went like this: 5-0, 6-1, 4-1. So they scored 2 runs in that series. Hit on the ground right back to Anderson.
Well, with Brandon Belt approaching the batter's box, we're going to make him our forward right choice. Why? Well, for this catch he made yesterday. And just assuming a start in left field, an emergency start. And what's unique about it was the Giants didn't take batting practice. He did not take one fly ball before the game. He goes out there and makes that play. That's our forward right choice. It was a big part of that Giants win yesterday.
Here's Belt. Just to give you an idea of the difference of Coors Field. 2 runs in 3 days, right, in LA.
Yeah.
On their homestand, they scored in games 7, 10, 11, 9, 9, and 9.
Jeez. And then they score 2 runs in 3 days.
Yeah. I think the ballpark has something to do with that.
Yeah, I think so.
0-2 to Belt. And Bell out on 3 pitches. and that'll end the inning. After one, it's 0-0.
Is brought to you by AAA. Get a free road trip day pack with a AAA insurance quote. Go to AAA.com/road trip or a AAA branch for details. Restrictions apply.
No score, top of the second inning. Story, Rayburn, Reynolds facing Jake Peavy. Peavy threw 19 pitches in that first inning. Had a couple of strikeouts. And here it's a strike to Story. Having a good year. He's a rook. He's got 19 home runs. He's got 50 runs batted in. Started out like a house of fire, and he had a lot of strikeouts, but he's even cut those down. 0-2. He's only had 2 at-bats lifetime against Peavy. He's 1 for 2. Peavy's only start, and Mike may have mentioned it, this year against the Rockies was in Denver. Got him. Happy 4th of July to Amy G. Amy?
All right, gentlemen, we have a roster move for the Giants. Sergio Romo was activated just before the game. Albert Suarez has been optioned to AAA Sacramento, and Mike Broadway has been designated for assignment. Dwayne?
Yeah, the Giants feel like they're not going to need Suarez until after the All-Star break. So those days will go quickly for Albert Suarez. He wasn't demoted because of performance. He's been terrific.
No, he's been fantastic, but he'll go down now and stay in the rotation and just keep building arm strength.
Rayburn strikes one out to Pagan, and Pagan is going to have this one bounce off the bottom of the wall. As that wind seems to be helping that ball carry.
Oh, no question. There's carry out there today. And that fly ball really proved it. And I think when Pagan took out after this ball, I think he felt he was going to get this ball. And then all of a sudden the push from the wind just sort of swung his route to the right. Watch him swing to the right now. And there's the carry. So 2 times we've seen it deflect fly balls to center. And both have been doubles over the head of Pagan. One from Arenado and this one from Rayburn.
Here's Reynolds. Reynolds, a .285 hitter. And he hits a high pop-up It's going to be tough, and it's going to fall. You could see it coming from the beginning with Green and Pagan, and that'll put runners at the corners.
Well, think about what we've seen now. 4 out of the last 5 hitters. We've seen 2 carry doubles. We saw a wrestling pop-up that Tejada caught. Now this one. And basically, the rules of the game are being set. Mother Nature's going to have something to say about pop-ups and fly balls. They will not be easy today. So Grant Green really had no chance.
So here's Hundley. Hundley hitting .234, 4 home runs, 17 driven in. It really is more of a Coors Field hit than an AT&T Park hit. And a swing and a miss. It's 0-1. Hundley's only faced Peavy a couple of times. He's 0 for 2.
Teammates in San Diego.
Rayburn at third, Reynolds at first. And the pitch to Hundley is low. PB with 3 strikeouts.
Hey, she's showing her spirit. Happy 4th of July.
Yeah, the whole family is. 1
Fire.
ball and 1 strike.
Fireworks Day.
In tight.
That almost got him. And with Hundley, he doesn't have a lot of give with his upper body. If you're throwing a fastball, it's got 2-seam movement coming in on him. I mean, he'll just roll that shoulder into it, tuck his elbow out, take it.
Hundley steps out. PB looking for the ground ball. It's 2 balls and 1 strike. PB and Posey trying to get on the same page, and now Hundley's going to step out again. Well, some of the times with PB, he doesn't see very well, and he has a hard time seeing the signs. 2-2.
With a hard slider and a swing through strike. Well, you'll see Posey really spread the knees wide to give Posey spread wide to give Peavy a better look. Normally you try and hide your signals by keeping your legs a little pinched there, but with Peavy you got to just let him see it. Don't worry about the third base and the first base coach. He really struggles.
So now you got a full count. See if Mark Reynolds at first takes off on the 3-2 pitch. Peavy gets the sign from Posey. Reynolds does not go, and he walked him. At top of the 3rd inning, we're going to have Monty Poole. He's going to join us. Yeah, he's the CSN Bay Area Warriors insider, and Monty's going to join us, and we're going to talk a half inning about the events today where Kevin Durant is coming to the Warriors. So Monty will give us a little insight. Tyler Anderson is 0 for 8. In most of Peavy's starts this year, it's been Trevor Brown who has caught him. And I don't believe the problem is anything more than it's just having a hard time seeing the signs.
Well, and then you might see Posey after this inning go into the dugout and put some black on the back of his fingers.
There's a bunt, and it's foul. I think the one thing that Walt Weiss is worried about in this spot is that Anderson will hit into a double play.
That's exactly what he's worried about. He wants Charlie Blackmon to hit this inning, and he's on deck. Blackmon, the 300 hitter.
I mean, the only other thing you could do, and the baseball gods would probably frown on it, is just give him the take sign.
Yeah, I mean, go ahead, strike out. We want that guy to hit. Anderson, we don't really know what type of hitter he is. He doesn't have any hits.
The bunt's not a bad play. You really have a lot of moving parts, and you can steal a run that way.
And you've got good speed on third base with Ryan Rayburn.
Oh, and 2. Belt and Tejada were both inching in at their positions. And you almost have to think that Anderson would.
That's a balk.
That is a balk. You're right.
And really, they really got away with one, because if that ball could very easily have been over the head of Belt. You cannot throw to an unoccupied base. And with Belt pulled in at the grass, Bruce Bochy's going to come out and ask for an explanation here. See that one changing. He just wasn't close to the base. Just a mental mistake.
And look at Belt. Belt was shocked.
Well, I think what Peavy saw was the runner to go back to first. I think he thought that may have been Belt. And that's where he thought he saw an opening. So I think he got his people crossed up. I think he mistook Bell as the runner and Reynolds as the first baseman, because he was throwing it over to the base. Watch where the runner Reynolds is, and this throw was going right to Reynolds. So Bell saves at least a run if that ball goes over his head down the line.
Well, Peavy should know he shouldn't trust his eyes.
You're right.
Here's Blackmon. Blackmon struck out in the first. At third is Reynolds. At second is Hundley. DJ LeMahieu is on deck. This is hit on the ground to Belt, and it's going to end the inning. So tough break for Peavy, and the Rockies lead 1-0.
SN Bay Area is brought to you by USAA Insurance, banking and investments tailored for the military community.
Rockies with a 1-0 lead. Buster Posey's going to lead things off.
Hey, the gang's all here.
What a great day to be at the yard.
I mean, how many times you get to dress up and have your mom and dad dress up with you?
Posey takes low, 1 ball and no strikes.
Put your Giants gear on. Your mom and dad are doing the same thing. That is what's cool about that picture.
For the longest time, we needed a special closet for just our Giants stuff when our kids were little.
Yeah.
Posey had 290, 9 home runs, 39 driven in. Foul back. Johnson or Anderson does a lot like Jorge De La Rosa with that pause.
He does. Giants will see Jorge De La Rosa in Game 3 of the series on Wednesday. Anderson shaking his head. He's thinking, what do I have to do to get a strike?
So's Walt Weiss.
Well, Walt Weiss can see the height is good. He just is going on the reaction from Anderson, the pitcher.
Posey hits one high. Hits it deep. It is out of here. And this game is tied. Buster Posey now with 10 home runs on the year. That was a big boy.
Yeah, it was. Well, he had count leverage. 3-1 count. Anderson comes at him. Looked like a high 2-seam fastball. And Buster Posey squares it up.
He hit one yesterday in Arizona that I bet he hit harder than this one, but he had topspin on it. And it was caught right in front of the wall in left field. I saw him afterward and he was having a bite to eat. I said, can you hit a ball harder than that? And he said, topspin. That's all he said. Crawford hitting at 272. He breaks his bat on this to LeMahieu. Crawford, I don't think there's any doubt he was the best player in that 3-game series.
Oh boy, did he put on a show with his glove or what? And we're talking about one of the most difficult infields in all of the National League. He was fantastic. Well, it's time for greater coverage of baseball. It's brought to you by T-Mobile. Yesterday, Brandon Crawford, 2 great defensive plays. First one, bottom of the 3rd, he bare hands a ball off the plate to get Goldschmidt, who's a good runner. Then the bottom of the 5th, a deflected ball off of Ruben Tejada, and he still throws out Tuffy Gozowich, and he makes it look easy.
Mac Williamson hitting 231 with 3 home runs. He's got 7 runs batted in.
If you're a Giants starting pitcher, you come to the ballpark the day you're supposed to pitch, and you look up in the lineup, and Crawford's not at shortstop, you start crying.
Yeah. And that's nothing against anybody else.
No, it's just
he's just that special.
He is. I mean, starting pitchers used to do it with Omar Vizquel, Ozzie Smith. Because you know at some point during the game he's going to save you. Maybe 2-3 times. Good pitch, good take.
Hey, Johnny Lee's here.
John LeMaster, he could pick it at shortstop.
He could pick it. 2-2 pitch. Williamson taps it to 3rd. Arenado Throws out Williamson by a step.
That's one of the best arms in baseball over at third base. Perennial Gold Glove winner. He's another guy that makes a difference every day. If you're a starting pitcher, you want him out there.
Here's Parker. Parker hitting .276, 5 home runs. And he takes a strike, and it's 0-1. Got 11 runs batted in. In tight. And a swing. I don't know about that one.
Sam Holbrook, third base umpire.
Sam, I don't know about that one, Sam.
Does he have the itchy trigger finger? That looked pretty itchy to me.
Giants needed Sam in the 7th inning of the game yesterday with Jake Lamb's check swing. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Good rip, and it stays at 1-2. Yeah, there's the Lego of Buster Posey. The thing is very cool.
It is very cool. Are you a Lego guy?
Yeah.
I think everybody's a Lego guy.
I mean, when our kids were little, they'd be done playing with them, and I'd keep playing.
Big at our house. Yep. Well, he's a left-hander. Doesn't matter what glove you have. He's a left-hander. You can just tell left-handers.
That's why they don't put pockets on baseball uniforms. Stand out there in the infield.
That's right. Kids would absolutely put their hands in their pocket.
No, I'm talking about the big leagues.
Yeah, they do that too. Just wants to touch it.
Yeah, he's not quite sure about this.
Just looks so cool.
Just sit on Buster's shoulders. Think it's glued? It's got to be glued.
Better be glued.
2-2 to Parker. Yeah, it would have to be glued around our house, especially for that guy on the right.
Yeah.
Yeah, this guy's dangerous.
He can't
here.
wait. He's just waiting his turn.
Ooh. Ooh. He's gonna crawl right in there with Buster. Got him, and that'll end the inning. Giants tie it up on the Buster Posey solo home run, his 10th of the year, and he gets all of it. That beautiful swing for Buster Posey, and it's bye-bye baby, and it's also 1-1. 1-1 ball game as Jake Peavy starts out DJ LeMahieu with a pitch outside the strike zone. We've got Monty Poole with us, our own Monty Poole from CSN Bay Area, the Warriors insider, as LeMahieu pops this one up. Remember, pop-ups have been an adventure, and Belt is going to make the catch. Nice play. Wow. So anyway, welcome, Monty. There's our small little camera right there, and look, this is not. The Giants are not the only story in the Bay Area today, but Kevin Durant made his decision, and what an interesting and great decision for the Warriors.
Yeah, for a team that just won 73 games, the most in NBA history, and now they bring back a guy who is the MVP 2 years ago, 2014, four-time scoring champion, and for my money, the most difficult guy to cover in the NBA. And you add that to a core of Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, and Draymond Green, you got something really special. They were special before, but now they have the potential to be the sweetest shooting team in NBA history.
Look, on the floor, we know what he can do, but from what I understand, he's also a terrific guy.
Yes, he is. That's a big part of this. You know, the Warriors are all about character, and they've built this team around high-character guys, and that's why they believe that he will be a seamless fit. The guys know him very well. He and Iguodala and Steph Curry go back to Team USA activities 4, 5, 6 years ago. And Draymond Green has been recruiting him unofficially over the course of this season. So they're convinced that he will be able to really adapt to them and them to him, and that they will be able to do great things.
Arenado flies out, and here's Carlos Gonzalez.
Well, the obvious question is, are there going to be enough basketballs to shoot?
That's always a question when you start adding stars. But you know, whenever you have a good team and you add another star, that's always the thing you wonder about. But the Warriors have been an unselfish team. Draymond Green led the team in assists this year, and Steph Curry's the point guard, and Steph led the team in assists the previous couple of years. So if I had to guess, I'd say Steph Curry's assist numbers are going to go up. Draymond's may go down. Klay Thompson may shoot a few less shots, and Durant will be able to come in and score 25 points a night. So you've got three guys that can go for 30 points on any night, and who knows? There may be nights when all three of them hit that 30-point mark because they're that good, they're that explosive, they can shoot from deep and also drive to the basket.
Well, the other thing too, Monty, is don't think for 1 second that Durant didn't think about this. He may not care if he has as many shots as he's had in the past.
Well, from what I understand, he took a phone call from Jerry West on Saturday, and one of the things that the logo emphasized was that when you come to this team, your shots will be a lot easier than the ones you had in Oklahoma City, where there was a lot of isolation basketball, one-on-one basketball, where there were basically two stars, he and Russell Westbrook. With the Warriors, they can put Steph Curry in one spot, Klay Thompson over here, Draymond Green over there, and defenders will have to go, okay, who are we going to, which poison are we going to pick here? And so it should be easier for him to score practically a similar amount of points with the Warriors than he did with OKC.
Here's the 2-2 to Gonzalez, and he hits a high fly ball out into deep right center field. Pagan says he's got it, and he does. We're going to keep Monty Poole here for the next half inning, and we will tell you, Peavy just went through LeMahieu, Arenado, and Gonzalez, and it's a tie game. Business hosted by Guy Haberman will be tonight at 5 right here in CSN Bay Area. Tim Kawakami, Monty Poole, and a call from Rick Barry. Also, you can see anything that you could ever want on Sportsnet Central, which you can check out throughout the course of the day here on CSN. We do have Monty Poole with us, and we're talking about the Warriors and the news today that Kevin Durant is going to come to the Warriors at least for the next 2 years.
He could opt out after 1 year. He has that option, but he can revisit the contract next year and sign a longer-term deal. And the Warriors obviously are hoping that that's what he does. Yeah.
Here's Tejada. It'll be Tejada, Peavy, and Pagan. It's a 1-1 ball game. You know, the only downside to this is you have to say goodbye to some people. Yeah. And you know, the Warrior fans are like Giants fans. They get attached to certain people, and so. Maybe Bogut goes. Barnes doesn't come back. Other people. And they're going to have to find a center.
Yeah, no question. Barnes will expect to get an offer sheet from Dallas and likely to end up there.
Right.
That's pretty much a done deal. Can't be official until Thursday night at the soonest. And Bogut, they've talked to Bogut about trading him to Dallas, and it appears that that's also on the table to be done later this week. Both things can become official. Nothing can become official until 9 o'clock Thursday night, but at that time, those two guys will be going to Dallas.
Yeah, I like those two guys.
Oh, good guys to have around. They were part of a team that won a championship. Absolutely. So that always tells you that they're valuable. They're very valuable in the work, both on the court and off the court. They're good in the locker room too.
Here's Peavy, who's going to at least showing that he's going to lay down a bunt. We're with Monty Poole. The news today about Kevin Durant. We had a lot of fun with Kevin Durant a couple of years ago. He came up to the booth. I believe he was with Nick Collison.
Yep. One of his teammates in Oklahoma City, one of his longtime teammates. Yeah. Durant was there for 9 years. He's only 27 years old.
Yeah, that's amazing. That is amazing.
He'll be 28 in September. He's actually 6 months younger than Steph Curry. And those two guys, I can't think of two guys as teammates that have been better shooters. Yeah. And now you got Klay Thompson too. So you got three guys. You may have the three best shooters in the league on that team. That's impressive.
And the other thing too about Durant, I mean, he's not just a shooter; he's a good defensive player.
Yes, he is. I mean, you don't always look at him that way, but if you watch that Warriors series against the Thunder in the Western Conference Finals very closely, you saw what he could do on defense. And Draymond Green has been saying all along.
Hundley with the play, so he gets Tejada. 2013, it was in April, and we talked about Kevin Durant visiting the Giants. He was in the dugout, he was in the clubhouse, he was in radio, he was with Stretch, he was with us, and he was great.
Yeah,
we really enjoyed him. I remember the last thing we said to him. They were playing the Warriors the next night. Was just take it easy on the Warriors, will you? And he just smiled, right? So it was in April, so I don't think it was a playoff game.
No, the Warriors and the Thunder. Well, the Warriors were heading to the playoffs that year, but it was not a playoff game. But you look at what Kevin Durant has done over the course of his career. Started in Seattle the last year with the Sonics there, before they moved to Oklahoma City, and you see a guy who's just gotten better over the course of his career at both ends of the court. Yeah. And again, a quality individual. Remember his MVP speech where he said his mother was the real MVP, and people just, I mean, we're all over that. So
of course.
It says a lot about him and the kind of person he is.
This is Angel Pagan with Tejada at second base. One out is Tyler Anderson trying to work his way through here in the third. And now he'll spin around, and John Miller will be in innings 4, 5, and 6. Dave Fleming is, I don't know where Dave is, but there's John. John's looking good. Got the colorful tie on.
Yeah, it's his fireworks tie.
Is it?
Yeah.
And it's down low. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Well, we're excited, and I think everybody in the Bay feels the same way. I mean, I don't know if Bay Area can love the Warriors any harder than they love them now.
Yeah.
And now you've just enhanced the love affair by bringing in a guy who's just, perceived as such a great guy too.
Yeah, no question about it. I mean, obviously the Giants have a a massive fan base and a lot of love from the fans here now. But there's 2 baseball teams in the Bay Area, and that you have a little division there. The Warriors, you don't have that. They're the only NBA team in the Bay Area, and when they won the championship last year, you saw the parade. You saw people coming from all around the Bay Area and beyond to celebrate that championship, the first one in 40 years. So you're looking at a team now an ownership group that obviously is as committed as it comes.
High and deep to left. Back Rayburn. Out of here. Pagan hooked it. And he hooked it into the seats. And the Giants take the lead. Judging by his swing, I didn't think that was going to go out.
You don't see many fly balls go out where you don't get your legs into it. And this is about I'm saying this is a one-cheeker right here. The legs go out a little bit, but the hands stay back, and he just hooks it.
Yep, you're right. One cheek.
And just backspins it right out of here. Monty Poole, you're good luck.
Yeah, that was obviously the fat part of the bat on that one, because it did not look like it was going to go, and it just kept going.
Here's Green. You did not know about Monty and his baseball power?
Yeah, he's an analyst. I like it.
Gosh.
But that looked like a Coors Field home run here at AT&T. We just don't see balls go out like that.
Had to hit it just right. I bet he didn't even feel anything.
Clicked it.
Nice.
Here's the 1-0 to Green, and this is rolled to Story. Before we leave, the Giants made that big signing in 1993 with Barry Bonds.
Yeah.
And I mean, this could be right on that same level.
Absolutely. And the difference, though, is that Barry was joining a team that was kind of at a rebirth, at a crossroads there. New ownership, and trying to get a new ballpark and everything. And obviously the Warriors want to get a new arena. But they've been in the playoffs now for the last 4 years. So they're a team that they're in it now. And they won a championship last year. So this is a case of the rich getting richer.
Do you think other teams are going, this is piling on?
Maybe, but it's what the NBA does. I mean, we saw it before. We saw it when Shaq joined Kobe in L.A. We saw it when Kevin Garnett and Ray Allen and Paul Pierce joined forces in Boston. We saw it when LeBron went to Miami. This is the way the league works. You try and get better whenever you can. If your ownership is committed to being better, this is what happens.
And you think the league is okay with this?
They have to be. I mean, how many years can you go back and say, well, it didn't happen? I mean, Boston, the NBA has always been about 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 elite teams. And let's face it, the majority of these teams aren't going to win a championship.
Can Belt beat it out? He cannot. Monty, thanks for stopping by. Good
Absolutely.
stuff.
Thanks for having me.
You bet. Pagan hits his 4th of the year. It gives the Giants the lead. He hooks it into the seats, and it's bye-bye, baby. Giants 3, Rockies 1.
By Heffernan Insurance Brokers. Insurance and financial services for you and your business. Visit hefins.com.
Welcome back to AT&T on the 4th of July. 3-1 Giants, and here to tell you all about it, my pal John Miller.
All right, thanks, Mike. And Trevor Story, a top candidate for Rookie of the Year in the National League this year. And he takes ball one. He struck out his first time. Well, the Giants have responded rather emphatically to the Rockies getting a run on a balk, hitting 2 home runs and taking a 3-1 lead. Posey with a long home run in the second, and Pagan a 2-run shot to straightaway left in the third. I was kind of amazed by Pagan's home run.
Yeah, we were too. It looked like a Coors Field home run here at AT&T.
And it's 2-1. He's had him chasing that high fastball a lot, not just Story, but a lot of Rockies today. 2-1.
Well, he's had a lot of finish on the fastball. I mean, it hasn't been straight. The movement's been late. And really, that is what's been so special about PB throughout his career, is when he has had that late finish.
2-2.
Right up above the hand, same pitch.
Two balls, 2 strikes. He just got a piece of it. Still alive with a count, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Night games here tomorrow and Wednesday with Madison Bumgarner on the mound tomorrow for the Giants. Johnny Cueto on Wednesday. Giants fans who haven't bought tickets in advance, they're trying to figure out when those guys, those 2 in particular, are going to pitch here at home. That's hit well. Right center. Pagan starting back, now circling in to his left. And that is out number 1.
Well, partner, a gorgeous day for the 4th of July, which is a great tradition. Look, we like fireworks, but we love Saturday or daytime baseball for the 4th of July.
Daytime baseball, that's the way to go. Because that's what the 4th of July is. Out, having some dogs, maybe either playing baseball or going to the ball game. And then you head off afternoon to get your spot for the fireworks. There's a called strike to Ryan Rayburn. And I remember the first year I came to do the Giants game, 1997. We lived up on Russian Hill. We thought, well, we're set. We got the perfect spot for the fireworks. Are you kidding? And we invited a bunch of people, and we saw the barge, and we could see like 2 or 3 different barges from up there. And we'd see the fireworks get shot up into the air and into the fog. And then a moment later, we'd hear boom, boom. Not that we saw anything.
No way. That was the greatest place of all times to see fireworks. And you had the Marine layer?
It was about 8 layers, I think, that year.
Oh, my goodness. Well, I hope they don't have it tonight.
0-2 the count to Rayburn. And he just got a piece of that one to stay alive. Rayburn doubled over the head of Pagan back in the 2nd inning. Giants lead 3-1 here in the 4th. Dodgers 5 games back of the Giants in the West. They've won 4 in a row, and they play tonight. Well, they play that sort of twilight start with fireworks to follow at Dodger Stadium at 6:10. 1-2. Rockies got a run on the balk. Just a mistake by Jake Peavy. The Giants tied it up on Posey's homer in the last of the 2nd, and then Pagan untied it with a 2-run homer in the 3rd. And that will cut her off the outside. 2-2 the count now.
There's a newbie. This could be the first game ever. What do you think, about 2 months old?
And just loving it.
Maybe 2 to 4 months is what I'm going for.
That's
Jerry Davis right there. Got Jerry.
Buster Posey is asking Jerry if he's okay. Could use a few moments to try and shake it off here.
And this one gets a flush just off of Buster, he kind of gets both guys in the head. Watch the mask from Davis. Now you got an old style and a new style type of mask to protect yourself. And if you get hit flush like that, it doesn't make a difference what you're wearing. You're going to have your jaw popped.
Dave Grester, the Giants head trainer, and all the umpires gather around Jerry Davis, a veteran umpire, hugely respected around the game.
He's just trying to regroup right there. You know, we always talk about it. I mean, look, when you're in a fight, for the most part, unless you're getting sucker punched, if you're square up with a guy and you're about to get punched, you tighten your jaw, you brace yourself. When you're down there as a catcher or an umpire, you're not bracing yourself for contact by way of a blow to the head. You're relaxed, your neck is relaxed, and then when you get hit, it's a total surprise. And it absolutely rocks you.
2-2 the count to Rayburn. Strike 3 call.
Perfect slider. Well, the Arizona Diamondbacks are coming to AT&T Park this Friday through Sunday. And Saturday the 9th, the first 20,000 will receive either a Cueto or Samardzija jersey t-shirt. And then Sunday the 10th, it's Hello Kitty Day. We're giving away Hello Kitty tote bags to the first 20,000 fans. Go to sfgiants.com/tickets.
2 down in the Colorado 4th. Here is Mark Reynolds. He hit a single his first time. Really just a pop-up. And the combination of the wind and the fierce glare of the sun, and nobody was able to catch it.
A view from the garden.
Brandon Crawford doing that thing he does so well. 3 up, 3 down. That's 8 in a row retired by Peavy. Buster Posey coming up. At the big ballpark in the Bronx, facing the arch rival Boston Red Sox, and that was strike 3. He got Wade Boggs, no less, hitting .357 at the moment, and that was the end of a no-hitter. Dave Righetti with one of the great performances in Yankees history and Yankee Stadium history. There had not been a no-hitter at Yankee Stadium since Don Larson's perfect game in the '56 World Series, when Righetti no-hit the arch rival Red Sox.
17th season as Giants pitching coach, the longest tenured coach in the major leagues, and what a job he's done here. And you always knew as a player that he would make a great coach, and he really would make a great manager. He's just that special.
Buster Posey leads off against Tyler Anderson. Buster had a very long home run way up into the bleachers in left center field. Got 10 home runs for the year now. Called a strike. Buster still looking down at that spot where it crossed the plate. Perhaps not sure that it actually did cross the plate. 1 ball, 1 strike. The rookie lefty. Back to the rookie lefty. And he lobs one to first for the out. Posey retired. And now let's check in with Amy G.
All right, John and Mike, not much better than helping make a magical moment happen for some Giants fans. It happened earlier today. It's our Healthy Dose of Goodness presented by Eric's Deli Cafe. U.S. Air Force members Captain John Moore and First Lieutenant Kyle Langill came out to surprise their girlfriends who thought they were fighting overseas, serving our country. Surprise, they're here, ladies. And Captain John went down on one knee to ask Ariel to marry him. She said yes. All is right in the world. Happy 4th of July, guys.
Great moment. Got a big ovation from the fans here who enjoyed it. There's ball 1 to Brandon Crawford. Thanks to Amy Gutierrez. Crawford grounded out to second his first time.
I mean, that's something you can't do in front of 41,000 people unless you have a pretty good idea it's going to be a yes.
You have to know.
Can't get down on that knee thinking that it's a maybe.
It's like being a lawyer in court. You have to know what the answer is before you ask the question.
That's exactly right.
2-1.
But the flyover was unbelievable, and hats off to George Costas and all of the Giants personnel involved in the pregame ceremonies. They were beautiful. The flyover was just perfect timing.
And a bunt attempt, but back to the screen.
National anthem was lights out. Just a good vibe today here at the yard.
2-2 to Crawford. Just a happy day here at the yard with the bright sun.
Well, I think from a player's perspective, it's one of the favorite holidays of the year. I mean, it's right before the All-Star break.
Little bit low.
Anderson didn't think so. He thought that was there. I think Anderson's a little frustrated with the strike zone.
He's looked frustrated several times. And that is low, and that's a walk. Did he swing? No. It's his third base umpire, Sam Holbrook, a walk for Crawford.
Well, here was the flyover, timed right perfectly with the ending of the national anthem. And it was loud. I think the louder the better.
Man, our audio man, he captured it.
It does make you proud. It's a great feeling as you celebrate our nation's independence. That's a great way to do it.
240 years ago today, the Declaration of Independence was ratified, written by Thomas Jefferson, Hall of Famer.
He's a Hall of Famer. First ballot, I might add.
Several other Hall of Famers who signed it. 1 ball, no strikes to Mac Williamson. Williamson did some remarkable things with the bat over the weekend in Arizona, starting with hitting a home run off the scoreboard in center, which has only been done, what, 2-3 times. And even his outs were extraordinarily loud. High in the air. And Cargo will go for it with Blackman alongside, and that is off of Williamson. 2 down. But Williamson in the 7th inning yesterday hit a line shot. You knew he'd clobbered it. It was caught by the left fielder. And the StatCast on the MLB at bat app clocked it at 117 miles an hour off his bat, which is sort of a jaw-dropping.
Puts him in elite company in all of baseball. Not many guys can hit a ball that hard. It's just that simple.
Jared Parker, who made his own noise over the weekend. He hit an opposite field home run in the 8th inning on Friday, game 1 of that series. There was 424 feet or whatever it was to the opposite field. Parker struck out his first time against this left-hander. 2 down, runner at first. And the count is 2 balls, no strikes. Giants ahead 3-1 here in the last of the 4th. They used to always say the old bromide in baseball was there. I was pushing the wrong button. I kept pushing we call it the cough button, but it was on somebody else's microphone.
Hey, Kite was protected. I just want you to know that.
We didn't hear him coughing.
Gave me a nice play. About his catcher.
2-1 the count to Parker.
Way to go, Dad. Get him up. Taking a round of applause.
Called a strike. 2-2 to Parker.
I guess the one thing that Tyler Anderson has to figure out about the strike zone of Jerry Davis, he's a high strike zone, and high strike zone guys, there really aren't that many of them if you compare them around the league as to who calls high, who calls low. Most guys call low, knee-high strikes, but Jerry Davis gives you a higher strike.
3 infielders to the right of second, and into the defense. LeMahieu to end the inning. He might have broken his bat on that one. Jake Peavy back to the mound for the 5th inning, leading 3-1.
PSN Bay Area is brought to you by Mr. Pickle's Sandwich Shop, where the summer blockbusters aren't just stellar, they're interstellar.
Well, follow Giants Baseball live with the MLB.com @bat app. You can download MLB.com @bat, the #1 app for live baseball on your phone or your tablet. Check it out.
Inning number 5, Nick Hundley hitting 8th in the order, leads off against Peavy. Called a strike. The pitcher, Tyler Anderson, on deck, and then Charlie Blackmon, the leadoff man, due up 3rd in the inning. 3 runs, 3 hits for the Giants. 1 run, 3 hits for Colorado. Hundley walked in the 2nd inning. A ball and a strike. Dodgers play later at home. Julio Urias, the young, and I mean very young, left-hander, will go for L.A. Toward the middle. Crawford gets to it, juggles it, grabs it out of the air. Not in time.
Be interesting how they rule this. And very quickly, it has been ruled a base hit. Would not have been a normal play. There's a sloppiness on the exchange you just do not see very often with Brandon Crawford. And even through all of that, he almost gets Nick Hundley, who Hundley runs pretty well for a catcher. I mean, even bobbling a ball, he does that in spectacular fashion, if that is possible.
Anderson took a strike. While showing bunt. Tejada remains shallow at 3rd and comes in even closer with the display of the bunt and the count 1 ball, 1 strike.
Well, the pressure's on Anderson, and Walt Weiss knows this. The arms of Tejada at 3rd and Bell at 1st, they're exceptional. So if you allow them to get that deep, I mean, you're really asking for a double play.
Showing bunt again. And he bunted at it and missed it.
And what you do is you simply allow your hitter, if you're going to show bunt and they're crashing that hard, you have the ability to pull back and you can butcher. Try and slap the bat, hit a ground ball past the charging corner infielders.
And he tried that the last time and could not put the ball in play when he swung at it. And he butts it for strike 3.
Take a look at what Jake Peavy has done this year. It really has been a tale of 2 different seasons. The first 9 starts not good. 1-5, 8.21 ERA. His WHIP 1.9, almost 2 runners allowed per inning. 9 home runs. His last 7 starts 3-2 with a 2.41 ERA. His WHIP, he's averaging 1 base runner an inning. He's only given up 2 big flies. He has really turned his season around.
And he's been huge for the Giants in them maintaining their outstanding record. That's a called strike to the leadoff man, Charlie Blackmon, who was struck out and grounded out. 0 for 2 in the game. Considering Jeff Samardzija, who is going great for the first 2 months or so, and then Samardzija has been struggling at times in his last 6 starts. He's had a couple of good ones, but Peavy's been almost uniformly good in that time. In right center, Williamson right there. And he just started waving his arm, I guess, to indicate to Pagan, I've got this one. Even if there's nobody within 100 feet of him, he's going to be waving and making sure everybody knows that he's got it from here on after that collision last week with Pena.
I definitely think they sent a message to Mac Williamson, who's huge. He can't be running into anybody. I mean, he at 6'4", 235. I mean, he can hurt you.
So here is LeMahieu, 4th in the league in batting average coming into this game, but he has struck out and fouled out to 1st in this game. And Brandon Belt made one of the outstanding plays of the day, catching that foul pop way down the right field line in the visiting bullpen.
Yeah, that's a play that Will Clark and JT Snow would applaud. I don't know if you can go much farther as a first baseman down that line and make a pop-up play.
Back to first is Hundley. Looked like a fan wearing a Warriors jersey out there on the arcade. Warriors being talked about all around the Bay Area today with their huge free agent pickup. I know you guys are talking to Monty Poole, who covers the Warriors and follows the NBA very closely. And I had a chance to see him as he was heading out of the booth. Just said, "Good deal?" He says, "Oh, incredible deal." And he's already got his new Kevin Durant jersey.
Yeah, looks good.
It's a holiday. Where are you going to go get one on a holiday? Did the best he could on it. Mac Williamson. And that ends the inning. 3-1 Giants. Tejada, then Peavy coming up. Giants post-game live, and again at 6 o'clock, and again at 10:30 CSN Bay Area. Tonight at 6 o'clock, and after post-game live, Henry Wofford will be hosting. Alex Pavlovich will have the post-game notes from here. The insiders and experts will weigh in on Kevin Durant. I'm predicting they've agreed that it's a good thing. And a reaction from the sports world to Kevin Durant. Blockbuster. Durant, Steph Curry, Klay Thompson together.
I'm excited about it.
Foul tip by Tejada, who singled leading off the third inning. That started a 2-run rally for the Giants. Tejada's the last 2-3 days has really started to swing the bat well.
Yeah, he definitely has hit the comfort zone. You know, and he's a guy that feels that his hits are coming. He's hit it his whole career, and now to start this season off, it hasn't been getting everyday playing time.
A bloop along the right field line. Foul. 2 strikes.
So now that you're stringing some at bats together for him, I mean, he's starting to get comfortable. He's starting to see the ball better, thinking better at the plate, better balance in his lower body. And those are all good things. And when that happens, you can start to see a player gain control of his swing, and all of a sudden you're going to start to see hits happen. That's how it works.
3-1 Giants in their holiday uniforms for the 4th of July. Tyler Anderson.
Just to finish up with Monty Poole, though, you know, we've known Monty for many years, and you know, he doesn't get excited about a lot of things. He was excited about this. And when a guy who follows the team and is around the team, and you get kind of jaded because you've seen so many spectacular things day in and day out, especially the last 2 years following the Warriors. And for him to be this pumped up tells it all.
Off the inside, 2-2. Well, the Warriors were so good they had the best record in regular season history. And finally were beaten in Game 7 by the team of destiny, the Cleveland Cavaliers, and LeBron James in the finals. There's Arenado, and he throws out Tejada. One away here in the 5th inning.
Well, join us Friday, July 29th for our Wine Fest presented by Loca, the wines of Lodi. Your special event package will include access to a pregame wine fest featuring wines from Lodi, a Giants branded Govino wine glass, and a ticket to the game against the Nationals. So go to sfgiants.com/special events for more information. They'll be there.
He's got his 4th of July hat on.
Yeah, that's a hat you wear, what, 3-4 times a year?
Yeah, or maybe just on the 4th of July.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, PB rocks. We knew that.
Now, one guy had a spinning wheel on the back of his hat, it looked like. I haven't seen too many of those. It looked like he could fly with that cap. Right. Yeah, look at that. Is that on his, where is that?
The way he's sitting there looks like it's part of him.
Is that keeping him cool?
He's taking off. You see a lot of those over in Berkeley, though.
Whoa. Oh, it must be the woman behind him there. That was kind of. She got me on that one. 2-1. Anderson. And he throws out Jake Peavy. Peavy had a sacrifice bunt his first time. 2 down in the 5th inning. The Giants ahead 3-1. And the man who put him ahead. Oh, no, that's a 4th of July hat.
Yeah, you put that hat on right there, and you know what you want to do? You want to have a hot dog and a piece of apple pie.
Pagan, who put the Giants ahead back in the 3rd inning.
Really just a backspinner that gets carry. We've seen a lot of carry on fly balls, much more than we normally see here at AT&T, and that fly ball certainly had carry going out of here.
Ball 1 to Pagan. That was his first hit since the Giants were in Oakland. He got shut out for the weekend in Arizona. 2-0. And he was so hot before that. Last weekend he had 8 hits in the 3 games against the Phillies when they were here. 2-0 the count. 2 down, nobody on. Called a strike on the outside. That high pitch.
That's the high strike you get with Jerry Davis. And immediately Pagan's asking Jerry Davis about it. I mean, you just don't see it. Most of the umpires, you see knee-high strikes. That's where their location centers around. But with Jerry Davis, it always felt like his location centered around the belt.
Called strike 2.
But Davis, I mean, he's always been a good umpire. I mean, he's been around a long time. He was umpiring when Kipe and I were playing. That tells you he's been around a long time.
Back to the screen. Still alive. 2-2. Very universally respected around the game. He was one of the guys that surprised Doug Harvey the year that Doug Harvey was inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame in Cooperstown, and he went to hell and back to get there to Cooperstown in time for the induction ceremonies to salute Doug Harvey. And that's down and in. 3-2. If he can keep it going, Grant Green would be coming up next. Giants have only 3 hits, but 2 of them have been home runs. 3-2. In the air along the right field line, and playing right near the line was Gonzalez, and that makes it easy for him. The inning is over. On to the 6th inning. Arenado, Gonzalez, and Story. The power coming up.
Is Toki Doki night here at AT&T Park. Your special event ticket will include a Toki Doki Sergio Romo figurine and a ticket to see the Giants take on the Reds. Go to sfgiants.com/special events and check it out.
Here we go into the 6th inning. Jake Peavy back on the mound on this 4th of July holiday. Everybody in a festive mood and often a festive mode. And there's ball 1 to Nolan Arenado. The big sluggers are up here. Arenado 22 homers, leading the league in RBIs. Gonzalez 18 homers. Story 19 homers. Those are the 3 guys coming up. 1-1. Arenado has doubled deep to center field and flied out deep to right. 3-1. The Giants are leading. 3 infielders have swung over to the left side of the infield. That was a hanger down the left field line. It is foul.
Hooking.
1-2.
Hey, lefty got it. That a bit.
Everybody talking about the Warriors' blockbuster acquisition today, signing Kevin Durant, the great superstar from the Oklahoma Thunder, Oklahoma City Thunder, and that's everybody's. The whole town's talking about it, and maybe the whole country. There's a high fly ball into left center. Pagan battling the sun, still going. That ball carrying well, and he's got it in deep left center. 3 years ago, when the Rockies were in town, he came into the radio booth to visit with Dave Fleming and me, and we found him to be a very genial guy, and he really had a lot of questions. He was kind of interviewing us about the game, what he should look for. And we told him that the Rockies, who at that time were in last place, the Giants were the defending world champions, of course. He says, oh, so the Giants should win this game easy.
Yeah, well, it doesn't work that way in baseball, but
so we tried to explain to him how baseball is so much different than the NBA or the NFL or almost any sport in that regard, based on who's pitching that day to start with. And he was fascinated by that, and he asked a lot of questions about that. That's a ball in the dirt. And I told him my theory about that it was unfair to guys. You're taking a shot. If you score the shot, you get 2 points, at least 2 points.
Yeah.
But you get fouled, and they make you earn the 2 points one at a time.
Yeah.
And I said, You shoot a free throw, you score it, you should get 2 points. And he says, I'm not for that. I said, what? Don't you think that'd be to your advantage? He says, I really take pride in my free throw shooting. I spend a lot of time working on it. I'm pretty good at it, and I feel like that gives me an edge over a lot of other guys. So he gave me a little idea of a different way to look at it, and he's like the great ones. He's looking for that edge.
But he was just very comfortable here at the ballpark. He spent some time in our booth at the TV side. He couldn't be a nicer guy. Really enjoyed talking baseball with him.
And they had a game that night over across the bay against the Warriors. Anyway, Kevin Durant is now a Warrior.
Well, it'll be up to us to make him a Giants fan.
Get him over here. I think if he spent any time around these guys in the clubhouse and whatnot, they would make him a fan. They've made a lot of people fans here in the last few years, and watching him play, watching them grind. Carlos Gonzalez, soaring fly ball, and that is Jarrett Parker battling the wind and the sun. He got the glasses on, and even after he caught it, he took another look up to the skies and said, man, that is tough.
You can see the sun reflected his glasses. Just nothing easy about fly balls pop-ups today. Nothing. And this has been defiant since the first inning. It's one of those days where you get, if there's a high fly ball like that, I mean, you converge on it. 2, 3 guys, however many you can go, you're going to need help. Peavy 82 pitches into this outing. A lot of fly balls today. Don't normally see that with Peavy. More of a ground ball guy.
Story has struck out and flied out, and it's too high, ball 1. Peavy and the Giants ahead 3-1. Peavy gave up a single in the 5th inning. That's the only base runner he's allowed since the 2nd inning to the Rockies. Retired 12 of the last 13. Back to the screen. Story leading all major league rookies with 19 homers and 50 runs batted in. So this guy, and he was not the guy really I think they looked at as the heir apparent to Tulowitzki, but he sort of emerged in spring training. Another shortstop possibility, got hurt, and he had one of the great first weeks of the season that anybody's ever had.
Oh, you talk about putting yourself on the map in the first week of the season. He did it with the long ball. But the thing that impresses me is the league sort of adapted to him. Is here we are, right, going into the second half of the season, and this guy comes into this game hit 266. I think that's pretty good growth. He's got a lot of strikeouts. He's got over 100 strikeouts the first half of the season, and that's something that he'll have to work to cut down on. But he has maintained his presence in the lineup. I mean, he's hitting 5th today.
He's also done a good job with the glove at shortstop. He's manned that position well. 2-2 the count to him, and he's a threat. And he hit all those home runs. What did he hit? 8 home runs the first week, something like that, 7 or 8. He's got 19. He's kept hitting them on a regular basis. 3-2 now.
Just missed inside. See where Peavy was trying to go with that fastball in the 2-2 count. He had a chance to go off the plate, and he did. And really, Story, who's been swinging at that inside pitch, somehow managed to lay off.
He stays alive. That one got Jerry Davis in the arm, it appeared.
Looked like got him on the bicep, right arm. I mean, he's having a rough day. He really got his bell rung early with the one off the mask. And this one is off the right arm.
Ooh. The arm and rib cage. Maybe shared that one. Posey giving him some time to shake off the pain of that one. If I'm an umpire, I want that old-time balloon protector. I want to hide behind it, like they used to use in the American League.
Yeah. The last guy in the National League I remember using that was Lee Wire, Ed Montague's dear friend.
3-2 the count. 2 down, nobody on. That is hit a mile foul. Wow. A majestic foul into the second deck. Dave Kingman, as a rookie for the Giants, set a record back in 1972 with 21 home runs as a rookie before the break. Albert Pujols tied that 29 years later. Jock Peterson came within one of that last year, and Trevor Story is very close to it this year. Not often done. Kingman and Pujols, they became two of the great home run hitters of the game. That's a foul out of play.
Got a chance to play with Dave Kingman several years over in Chicago when we were with the Cubs. What a great guy. Good teammate.
You were there for his incredible year. He had 48 home runs the one year.
And I think he hit one every time I pitched.
Now that's a good teammate.
That's a great teammate.
Derek Law starting to throw in the Giants bullpen. Is Story giving Peavy a workout here. We're in the 6th inning. 2 down, nobody on. And he walks. Well, he earned that walk.
He had some really good takes in that sequence. I agree. He did earn it.
So Bochy, and he's pacing a little bit. Peavy pitched a very strong game up till now, but that pitch count is growing. And it's getting around that time where they start worrying that he might just kind of lose it all at once. Here's Ryan Rayburn. He hit a long double over the head of Pagan back in the 2nd inning. He struck out looking in the 4th. Oh, look out. That got the attention of the on-deck batter, Mark Reynolds.
Well, Dave Binger has been down there in the close to visiting dugout. Low first. He almost got smoked.
Are you okay, Dave?
Yeah, don't mess with Benny.
Did he give us the Dan Rather line from the Democratic Convention? It's all in a day's work, Walter. That one carrying well, and Parker had to stop going back and then made the catch. 6 strong from Jake Peavy. He's got a 3-1 lead. Green, Belt, and Posey coming up.
game? Well, the newest Giant, Grant Green, gets to mark something off of his bucket list on this 4th of July, and that's making his debut here at AT&T Park as a San Francisco Giant. Guys, he grew up in Orange County, but he grew up a huge Giants fan. His dad was a fan of course, Willie Mays and Juan Marichal, and he played on the Giants Little League team. He said he was only one of 2 people in his high school rooting for the Giants in that 2002 World Series. As for his motto here with this team, he said he's just trying not to do too much. There's a reason this team is in first place. It's also helped him that the older guys treat the younger guys as equals. Gentlemen?
All right, Amy, that's a good story. Enjoyed it. Thanks for the anecdote about Grant Green, who really has given this team a lift right when they needed it the most. Giants lost their second baseman, Joe Panik. They lost their backup second baseman, Kelby Tomlinson, and he was doing a great job. Then they lost their backup to the backup, Ramiro Pena, who was red hot, and now Grant Green, the backup to the backup for the backup, and he's done a great job. How many times can you go to the well and still come up with a guy who's going to do a great job for you?
Well,
they've been blessed in that regard.
But you know, you saw this depth in spring training. We talked about it all spring. The guys that were there that were all likely were not going to make the team.
That's a hard base hit to left field. Green's got his first hit of the game, and he's got 7 hits in 21 at bats as a Giant in his 5 games.
But this is his 8th year of professional baseball, and you know, he's got a little over a year's time at the big league level. But he's a professional player. I mean, he gives you a good at bat. He understands how to play the game. He knows how to adjust his at bats situationally. I mean, and he also can do the same thing on the defensive side. Plus, he can play at 3 positions in the infield. Now, that's a commodity, and he's worked hard to be that type of a player. This year, he got a chance. He's making good on it.
Here's Brandon Belt. And ball 1. Belt has struck out and grounded out to third. 3-1. The Giants leading. Dwayne Kuiper will be back over here in the TV booth in the 7th inning. He's been banished to the radio booth in the middle 3. Dave Fleming on assignment today. Into the crowd. Foul.
Yep. So you got it. Got a bit. Everybody's okay. It's a pretty good move right there. I just got picked off.
I was definitely picked off.
See why the Rockies like young Tyler Anderson, the lefty out there in the hill today.
It's a little bit low. 2-1.
One thing about him, though, and I think it's something he may have to change as he ages in this game. The little hesitation he's got when he lifts his leg up, and that's something he does out of the windup. He does it to a lesser degree out of the stretch, but still, he's slow out of the stretch. And I think with that little pause that he has, I think it's going to be easy, not so much to steal from first, but from second. I think he's going to be vulnerable. His unload time is really slow.
Well, if there's any aspect of the game where you're vulnerable, teams will exploit it. In the dirt outside, that was a save by Nick Hundley. Buster Posey on deck. The count is 3-1 to Belt. The infield, there's Buster on deck. The infield is into the overshift mode. You see it there. 3 infielders to the right of second, and Arenado is all the way over at shortstop. Third base unattended. Right to the first baseman, Reynolds. Was he on second? Wow.
It was Arenado who came across the bag and made the play.
They had 2 guys there at second base. So Reynolds sent it to second, and then they worked it out from there. I wondered if Arenado was actually on the bag when it looked like he stepped in front of the bag to field that one.
We'll see here.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's there.
But right in front of Trevor Story, I mean, that's a weird play.
Buster Posey into right field. Cargo. And the inning is over. Dwayne Kuiper will be back on this side of the 7th on this Independence Day. USAA honors those who have served and all of our service members at home and abroad.
Local Toyota dealer, and it has been a well-pitched, well-played game for the Rockies. 1 run on 4 hits, no errors. The Giants with 3 runs, 4 hits, no errors. The big blow for the Giants, a 2-run homer off the bat of Angel Pagan, and Jake Peavy has been outstanding through 6. He's about ready to pitch the 7th, and here to tell you all about it. Once again, here's Dwayne Kuiper.
All right, Mike, and Peavy is throwing to Mark Reynolds, and there's a call strike. Hundley to follow. I'm guessing that after watching the conversation that Bruce Bochy had with Peavy after the last half inning, that he's on a short leash.
I think he gets a guy on, he's out.
I think you're right, and I think he probably told him that. 1-2. Go hitter to hitter. Adds a little spice to what you're trying to do out there.
Well, it does. I mean, you know right now you're not saving anything. You're going as hard as you can, as long as you can.
High and foul down the right field line and out of play. Heads up, Mac Williams. This was the conversation we're talking about. I was over on the radio side, so I'm not sure if you guys showed it or if this is the first time, but this is what I saw. It's what you saw, and I think Peavy, Bruce Bochy was telling him that you're out, and he was like, no, I think I got some left.
That's exactly what he was saying.
And then he cut a deal with him.
Yeah, I'll let you have one. You get one guy on, I'm coming to get you, and that's the deal.
So it's Law and Lopez in the 2-2. Fouled out of play again. I do believe that is one of the strengths of Bruce Bochy, is knowing guys well enough. He trusts what they say to him. And he certainly knows Peavy.
Well, he's known since he's 19.
To right. And diving is Williamson, and he makes the catch. What a great play. And Peavy gets to face another hitter.
That's exactly right. Mac Williamson kept him in the game. I mean, it's a nice at bat. Taken away, and if it gets by Williamson, that's at least a double, maybe 3. Boy, he completely sells out for this thing. Parallel to the ground, and watch the reaction from Jake Peavy. Where's his emotions on his sleeve? Big league play.
Here's Hundley, who's been on base twice. Rolls this one foul to Tejada. Another look. It was a great play.
Well, I mean, look at how parallel to the ground he gets. I mean, that's a sellout right there.
Yeah.
He's not thinking about his body at all. He's thinking about catching the ball in the sweet spot of the glove. Beautiful play.
Swing. Ain't gonna miss. Nothing in 2.
Good curveball. We haven't seen Peavy throw many curveballs today. For the most part, his breaking ball has been a cut or a slider. That was a good one. Going like that, you want to throw it again. Peavy wanted a fastball, or Posey wanted a fastball, and Peavy shook off. He wanted a curveball. So now they're settled on a slider.
So that's middle ground.
Well, yeah, I mean, you know, it's amazing how often guys will shake Posey off and then they give up a hit. You really fight as a catcher to kind of go, hey, I told you so. You want to say it, you don't.
I think it may have been said a few times, but it usually ends up bad.
Yeah, it doesn't end up good. Plus, you know what? I mean, you could throw a slider, then your elbow says, don't throw that again for a while.
Yeah.
Catcher doesn't know that. Pitcher does.
Yeah, the old talking to elbow, that's never good.
Yeah, the older you get, the louder it talks to you.
It's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Popped him up. Pagan doing the pop-up dance.
Wow.
Wow is right. Pagan's thinking, so this is the day.
And this is 12 fly ball outs. And the reason I bring that up is Peavy's more of a ground ball guy, but not today. And fly balls have been an adventure. Nothing has been easy up in the air today for anybody.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Pagan's going, really, today is the day you're going to put me in center?
Well, that's what Pagan is looking at.
Christian Adames is the pinch hitter. It's hit high and foul down the right field line and just over the arcade. All right.
Found a good home. That's all we care about.
1-1 pitch to Adames. Up the middle. Green has a kick off his glove. And Adames is going to have a pinch hit single.
And true to his word, here comes Bruce Bochy.
So Green almost made the play that would have had Peavy finish out the inning, but it's going to be Lopez who is going to get a chance to do that. And listen to the nice ovation for Jake Peavy. And it's time for a change. Think Speedy, oil change and auto service. Your oil change tune-up and smog experts. We'll be back.
Brought to you by Toyota, the full-line automaker with the longest-lasting vehicles in America. Toyota, let's go places. By Kelly Moore Paints, celebrating 70 years as your neighborhood paint store. By Xfinity, X1 from Xfinity will change the way you experience TV.
It's a 3-1 lead for the Giants with 2 outs here in the 7th inning with Javi Lopez coming in.
New pitcher now for the Giants will be Javier Lopez. 37th time that he has come in. And Lopez, who is a sidearm delivery with 2 types of breaking ball, and also throws a changeup, and 2 types of fastballs. He'll 2 and 4 seam it.
Blackman is 0 for 3. And 1 ball and no strikes. Pretty good pitch.
Just missed on the inside corner. For Jake Peavy today, he's got to be happy with how he threw.
Ooh, yes. Popped up. Tough play. And Tejada's got it. And that's going to end the inning. Nice play, and Lopez with 2 pitches gets the final out here in the 7th inning. So we're going to stay for God Bless America.
And all around the world. Here now to perform God Bless America on this special holiday, please welcome from the 129th Rescue Wing, Master Sergeant Andrew McGrath.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with a light from above. From the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans wide with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
from all of us here at CSN. The Giants are leading 3-1.
All right, time now for our Geico quote. It's Bruce Bochy that said that he was thrilled with Osich and Strickland yesterday. He said, great bounce back by those kids. We talked about that. You're going to have your moments, but you've got to bounce back, and they did. And that is our Geico quote.
When it's time for a change, think Speedy. Oil change and auto service, your oil change tune-up and smog experts.
Jake McGee rather, just off the disabled list. He's in the game now, 0-2. He was the closer the first part of this year for the Rockies. He's been replaced as they ease him back into shape, but he's got outstanding stuff for McGee. You're going to see a mid to high 90s fastball and a good curveball. He's basically a two-pitch guy. Not an easy guy to square up.
So facing Crawford on a check swing, 1 ball and no strikes. Believe even.
Even believing. 2010, 12, 14. She's even believing. Okay, I'm with you.
Yeah. Took a little time to do that. Think of that.
A frustrating DL for McGee because it wasn't his arm that put him on the DL. It was left knee inflammation.
Crawford does go around that time.
Familiar face off the disabled list today. Sergio Romo starting to get loose.
On the ground. Story got a funny hop.
All right, time now for our Togo's big play the Togo's way. And in this game, in the 7th inning, with nobody out, leadoff, Mark Riddles hit a bullet to right field. And Mac Williamson gobbles it up, completely parallel to the ground. And Jake Peavy, who was stellar today, digging it, cheering him on. And that's our Togo's big play the Togo's way.
Mac Williamson is 0 for 2.
To see the emotion and the intensity that Jake Peavy brings into that clubhouse and that dugout and the field every day he goes out. Good teammate. How could you not want to lay out, dive for him, huh?
Absolutely. One ball and 1 strike. And that's hit foul.
I mean, that's a great shot. He's completely parallel to the ground. I mean, as a guy who has zero fear of hurting himself. Of course, it helps when you're built like a brick wall, too.
Yep. It's another one got away from football. Two and 2. Parker on deck. The bunting is out today. George Costas said we were going to enjoy the festivities before the game, and we did.
It was spectacular. They really put together a nice ceremony to celebrate the 4th of July. Pretty much the halfway point of the baseball season. Yep. Baseball players love the 4th of July because you are halfway into it.
Williamson breaks his bat and grounds this one to Story. And Williamson's aboard. I'm going to give that one to Story, but I guarantee you Mark Reynolds will tell you he should have had that. That's a short hop throw.
That's error number 8, and it's going to be an error on Story because it did short hop the first baseman. But you're right, it wasn't a bad one hop.
Parker takes a strike. And that pitch is down low. 1 ball and 1 strike. Romo still getting loose. Tejada to follow. McGee totally been over at the waist. Now he straightens up. And it's out of play. Good swing, 1 and 2. There you go. Way to go, Grandpa.
That's an old shortstop right there. Might be the very first shortstop.
Could be. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Got him.
Good hard curveball. Kind of a slurve, kind of right to be halfway between a slider and a curve, but that's a big one. Definitely frees you.
So here's Tejada. Tejada with a single in the 3rd, and then he bounced out to 3rd in the 5th. McGee gets the sign as he goes after Tejada, and Tejada hits a high fly ball to left. Moving back is Rayburn, and now as he backpedals up against the wall, he'll put it away to end the inning. 8th inning coming up.
Hosted by Guy Haberman today at 5 p.m. You'll see it on CSN Bay Area. Guests are Tim Kawakami, one of our favorites, Monty Poole, we haven't seen him this excited in a long time, and a call from the Hall of Famer Rick Barry. All that and more Sports Talk Live today at 5 p.m. on CSN Bay Area.
Well, it's time for a change. Think Speedy. Oil Change and Auto Service, your oil change tune-up and smog experts.
So welcome back Sergio Romo, who has not pitched since April 10th. He went on the DL with an elbow problem the 15th of April. So his season starts really today. Healthy and feeling good. Just a time to face the heart of the beast.
There's that slider, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. LeMahieu struck out, popped out, flied out. Foul down the right field line and out of play.
Sergio Romo, 34 years old now. It's his 8th year at the big league level. One of the core 4 relievers that was part of the 2010, 2012, 2014 World Championship teams, along with Jeremy Affeldt, Javier Lopez, Santiago Casilla. Came up through the Giants organization, a 28th round pick back in 2005.
2-2.
So good to see him back healthy again.
Arenado. And then Gonzalez. On the ground towards the hole. Crawford on the backhand. He gets up. His throw to Bell. Got him! They do it all the time. The Brandons. 1 down here in the 8th inning.
Well, I mean, every part of this play is spectacular. He slides into a backhand, quickly gets to his feet, and unloads. It goes down in the dirt, and it's going to be a nasty one-hopper coming up. And the Brandons pull it off on both ends of the play. Just spectacular defense. And they have just been putting on a clinic here, really, I mean, all year. But this last week has just been something else. One highlight film play after another. You can add that one to it.
So here's Arenado. And he looks at a pitch down low. Arenado doubled in the first, and then he's flied out twice. Two balls, no strikes.
Two-seam fastball. I don't think it's possible for Romo to throw the ball straight because of the high sidearm delivery. His natural movement is going to come back into a righty away from a lefty like that last pitch. Romo asking low. Yep. Low with Jerry Davis. Other umpires, you'd get that strike. Now with a 2-run lead, you've got a challenge. This is not the place to walk, even to a power guy like Arenado.
Hit well to left. This one is going to be off the bottom of the wall. Parker gets to it, and his throw into second base is just a little late. July 8th is the 3rd annual Orange Friday Happy Hour presented by Lagunitas. So come on out. You get a pregame party featuring Neon Velvet, a ticket to the D-backs game, a beverage. sfgiants.com/special events. We got a break as Bruce Bochy's coming out. So's Josh Osich. Giants are leading 3-1.
8th inning. New pitcher now for Bruce Bochy is going to be Josh Osich, coming off a great outing yesterday. On the year, 1-1 with a 4.26 ERA. When he's right, you're going to see a fastball that's mid to high 90s with big time sink, because he throws a two-seamer with that type of velocity. Good hard slider and a changeup. All high velocity pitches that he can strike you out with.
And he'll go after Carlos Gonzalez. Gonzalez has done pretty well against Osich. He's 3 for 6 lifetime with a couple of home runs.
I'd say that's pretty good.
But he threw the ball really well yesterday. Taps this one to Crawford, and Crawford will make the play.
And on one pitch, his day is done.
Day is done indeed, because coming up is Trevor Story. It's amazing what one conversation with Jeremy Affeldt will do.
It works.
Way to go, Aff. Giants post-game live, and again at 10:30. So it's at 6 and 10:30. Right here on CSN Bay Area. Host Henry Wolford. You get the post-game notes from Alex Pavlovich, and you get all kinds of insiders and experts. They're going to weigh in on Kevin Durant and the reaction from the sports world to Kevin Durant signing with the Warriors, or is about to. Here it's all about the Giants leading the Rockies 3-1 with Derek Law about ready to face Trevor Story.
There's Law's year, 3-1 with a 3.10 ERA. He has one save, 29 strikeouts in 29 innings against 4 walks. A fastball that's mid-90s in velocity. The old 2 and 4 seam it. Curveball, slider, changeup. All swing and miss type pitches.
First pitch strike, and it's 0-1. Fastball high.
Well, congratulations on your 100th birthday.
That's awesome. Way to go.
Yeah. Having a good time at the yard. Big smile. Got new sunglasses.
Pop back and out of play, 1-2.
Brought his glove, made a play. Pass it around. Hot potato. Let's take a look at it. Oh yeah, that's a player.
One and two to Trevor Story. Very high, as you like to say, an easy take, 2-2.
Yeah, you know, it's not that easy of a pitch. I mean, elevating the fastball, it's got to be across the letters. If it drops down a couple inches, it's in the happy zone. And the guy with power, I mean, it's not where you want to miss. And it's real easy to miss on the side of high. But when you do that, it is a very easy take. And in a 1-2 count, I mean, you don't want to have easy takes. You want to have a pitch that is going to be much more inviting than that.
Up the middle. Green, off balance throw. He got him! Obviously, the Rockies will take a look at it. They'll ask the Giants to stay on the field. But the initial call is out. And we're going to take a look at it ourselves. Took a short step right there. And they got him.
Well, they're going to look at it. And it is a tie or close to it. The question is there enough there to overrule it?
This replay review is presented by Xfinity.
The long stretch of Brandon Belt. I don't think they can overturn that one. I do believe it was a tie. They just replayed it up here. You couldn't see the.
Yeah, they didn't show the base.
They didn't show the foot touch of the base, so everybody was a little disappointed with that. So, Jerry Davis, Carlos Torres on your left. They're looking it over. It's going to take a while. They're going to have to look at this one.
If he was called safe, the Giants would take a look at it.
That's exactly right. And I just think it's a tie. I just don't think it's going to get overturned. Whatever the umpire called in this instance, he was right. Hey, it doesn't take away a very, very strong effort from Grant Green.
Yep.
I mean, I thought this ball was going to go up the middle. And as we found out, Trevor Story can get down that line pretty well. It's just going to be a matter of whether or not Grant Green can get enough on the throw. As it turned out, got there at the same time the foot did. So we'll see how they rule it in New York.
Got him. And that's going to end the inning. Great play by Grant Green. Bottom of the 8th coming up. provide some of the sights here at the ballpark today. It started out with a terrific ceremony before the game. Some home runs, some great defensive plays. And here's Germán facing Connor Gillespie. Right out of bed, he throws him a changeup, and it's 0-1.
Oh, that's not even legal, is it? Let's take a look at it.
There's a rule. The first pitch cannot be a changeup.
Gonzalez Germán, 30th game he's been into.
When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your oil change tune-up and smog experts.
That's what you're going to see. You're going to see mid-90s fastballs and changeups for the most part. He's got a slider. He'll throw that more to right-handers than lefties. But if you're hitting left-handed off Germán, you're going to see changeups as a specialty pitch.
I don't know. I always say never trust a guy with 2 first names. How about a guy with 2 last names?
Well, yeah. Doesn't happen very often.
Garcia getting loose. Gillespie skies one to right. Gonzalez will hang in there and put it away. Oh, he's the star of the day.
Well, yes, he convinced me to get married on the 4th of July. He's a veteran. He loves me. He loves the USA. And oh, by the way, he made this sign. It's our 1st anniversary. Well, happy anniversary.
I think the conversation went, hey, you want to spend our 1st anniversary at the ballpark? Big unanimous yes.
Yeah, strong.
Pagan is the difference in this game offensively. He hit a 2-run home run in the 3rd. Here he takes high. Only 1 hit since the 3rd inning, and that was a single by Grant Green. Two balls, no strikes. Green's on deck. Outside corner, 2 balls and 1 strike.
Gonzalez Germán, not in a big hurry.
Sky down the left field line.
Time for our player of the game. Is brought to you by Honda. We think that Angel Pagan is that guy, and why he had the big swing of the bat in the 2nd inning or 3rd inning, a 2-run homer. And the Giants have held on to that 2-run lead ever since. We're going to make him our player of the game. Brought to you by Honda. Angel Pagan. That a bit.
Overshift now on for Pagan with 2 strikes.
That's unusual.
Makes me think, Mike, that once they're not worried about Pagan bunting, then they go to the shift.
Yeah. Almost looks like they set this defense like that. He's going to pitch him on the inside corner, or he's going to throw breaking balls to him, something he could pull.
Sky to center field for Blackman. And Blackman dropped it. And Pagan's going to end up at 2nd. It's been an adventure for everybody today.
It's just a horrible Sky. And as the game has aged, the shadows have just really fallen straight behind the middle infielders in the center field. Those are the guys who are most disadvantaged. I mean, he does everything he can. He's got eye black on. He's got dark sunglasses. And here he has no clue where that thing is. The fact that he almost caught it.
He almost did.
Is miraculous. And watch Pagan hustling. He knows how bad that Sky is. Right here he's thinking, hey, this may be something I could get to second base on. Hustling almost all the way, but hey, he's in score position.
Double. Grant Green, 1 for 3.
Can't penalize a guy who can't catch something he can't see.
Green, it's a high pop-up foul. Down the right field line and out of play. Belt on deck. Germán throws, and there's a foul back. You get in on the hands, it's 0-2. Dodgers in Baltimore, Dodgers and Orioles tonight at Dodger Stadium. Arizona will host the Padres. Here it's the Giants 3 and the Rockies 1. Rolled foul.
That's a stay alive swing and an 0-2 count. What that was.
That's right. That's a swing to see another pitch.
Hunter Strickland heading down the Giants bullpen. That simply means if the Giants score a couple times in this game and stretch the lead out to 4 or more runs, Strickland's going to pitch and Casillas not. 3 runs or less of a lead, you'll see Casilla.
Outside and low, 1-2. Belt watching from the on-deck circle. Foul right over the end of the Rockies dugout.
So Grant Green in the expanded defend mode. Here's the winner. And he did a good thing. See, chance to be a hero, and he took full advantage of it.
Fouled again. Blackman's thinking, seriously? And he makes the catch. Also going out there was LeMahieu to try to help him out.
I mean, after what just happened, and as hard as it is to see in center field, I mean, I think everybody's just thinking, all right, everybody call for it. And that's exactly what happened here. Almost a collision play, and it wound up being a nice play from Charlie Blackman.
Get
to
your
save the
legs
day.
up. So Walt Weiss is coming out with the high stirrups. We got a lefty coming in. It's 3-1 Giants. At 7 p.m. pregame live will start at 6:30 right here on CSN Bay Area. Come out and watch the pregame show. You can watch it live from Willie Mays Plaza, and the first 500 fans are going to get a cheer card and an authentic Giants fan jersey. It doesn't cost you anything. It's free. You can check out Greg Papa. See how he keeps that hair in place.
Well, like, it's not always an easy thing to do out there on a
It's
Tuesday
hard to
evening.
do out there, but he doesn't.
Here, it's Boone Logan going to take the ball for Walt Weiss. 32nd time he has come into a game. 2-pitch guy. Load him in 90s fastball and a hard slider. 28 strikeouts and 21 2/3 tells you that slider is a good one. Lefty's hitting 157 off him.
Belt is 0 for 3. And the pitch and a pop-up. Another pop-up. Is it treacherous? It's caught out there by Rayburn, and that's going to end the inning. Giants hitting right into the scouting report. 9th inning coming up. CSNBayArea.com. You can log on each week as insider Alex Pavlovich. He talks baseball with players, coaches, special guests, and more. Oh, by the way, and it's also available on iTunes. 3-1 lead for the Giants as Santiago Casilla comes in. So Casilla will face Ryan Rayburn, and then Mark Reynolds, and then Nick Hundley.
The numbers for Casilla: 19 saves, 3.03 ERA.
First pitch is down low, 1 ball and no strikes. Rayburn may have helped him out. It's 1 ball and 1 strike.
It's a good cutter. Rockies definitely not in a take mode here.
Nope.
Down 2.
Doesn't seem like it. So Casilla lets that one get away from him. 2 balls and 1 strike.
You come out of a ballpark like Chase Field in Arizona as a closer. I mean, you feel a little pinch there. You really can't make mistakes where guys can square you up in here. I mean, you could pound the outside corner and let guys take their best shot, hitting right-handed to right field. And, you know, that's not an easy side of the field to hit the ball out of.
Hit on the ground to Crawford. Crawford has it. Crawford to Belt. 1 out. And here's Reynolds. Reynolds 1 for 3. He hit a ball that Mac Williamson made the play of the day on a diving catch moving to his left. No balls and 1 strike.
You see a guy swing like that, you think, you know what, he's swinging like that just to set me up. That is not a Mark Reynolds swing.
Oh, 2.
Good curveball. So he opens him up with a cut, follows it up with a nasty curveball. He's given Reynolds his #1 best stuff.
Got it.
And then he drops down a little bit and widens up the break on the slider, and it's a 3-pitch see ya. And Reynolds would have needed a broomstick to get that one. So a quick pitch with a little drop down on the delivery from Casilla, a little creativity. 7th Rocky to go down today by way of the strikeout. Peavy had 6 of them.
Peavy had 6 of them. You see the Durant jerseys are already out. As he takes it high. A little creativeness on that young man's part.
Didn't take long.
No.
I think he's fired up. Yeah.
One 1-0 to Hundley. One ball and 1 strike. Should Hundley reach, if that happens, then Daniel Descalzo will hit. He's on deck. Out of play, right to our right. One and 2. Strikes on the pitch away.
Nick Hundley not going out of the strike zone in that 1-2 count.
Got him, and that's the ball game. Casilla with an uneventful 9th, and Bruce Bochy's feeling very good about that. And the Giants behind 2 home runs in this game. The big one, a 2-run home run off the bat of Angel Pagan, and they take game 1 of this 3-game series and this 6-game homestand. So a nice win for the Giants, and Jake Peavy finally gets rewarded for a nice outing.
Well, it really does. It was all about the pitching today, and it was all about the defense today. It's what has been the strength of this club this first half, and they continue to play well, and they continue to play well at home. That's a big win.
So the Giants now with a record of 53-32, and they will wait now for the Dodger game tonight. Final score 3-1 Giants. Thanks for joining us. Stay tuned. Esurance Giants post game live with interviews, and the wrap starts right now.